Thursday, 3rd of September. Oh, can't find my newly strapped watch. Probably about 11 o'clock in the morning. I haven't made a video since, second week of lockdown. No, second month of lockdown. I can't remember anymore. My mental health is very bad as I'm making this. Part of the process of making these videos was, I think, originally to give myself some kind of avenue to begin to work on myself with my post-diagnosis, post-treatment and post-addiction treatment rehab. But yeah, diagnosis is now 22 months behind. This month I am due for my second CEA in the post-cancer period. That's in the cancer remission period, in the all clear period, as people like to call it. All clear is the period when people say, oh, you got the all clear? Yeah, oh, great, fucking stop worrying about it. Didn't ask you to worry about it in the first place, and it's not really worrying I like, you know. So I've discovered I've discovered kind people in the 18 months, 20 months since I was diagnosed. All I've really discovered is that, yeah, there are truly cunts in the world, but most of them are really just thoughtless cunts. They're not bad cunts. And I always like to draw a distinction between thoughtlessness and badness. So, point of today is just to try and tie up the lockdown period. Last time I made a video, I was waiting. Okay, so I was diagnosed with bowel cancer, January 2019. Saturday morning, about 11:42 a.m. By the nurse colonoscopist that was on duty at the time. I had a tumour in my rectum, my arsehole, just about 10 centimetres. That's properly an SI unit. It's 100 millimetres inside the second anal sphincter. And the course of treatment that was prescribed me for me was 4 courses of what's known as neoadjuvant chemotherapy. That's using Zelox. That's a combination of the evil that is capecitabine and the evil that is oxaliplatin. Oxaliplatin is an intravenous one. You sit there and it goes into your back of your hand for 4 or 5 hours. And after you go out, you can't, your eyes sting, mouth stings, everything stings if it comes in contact with the cold. And it's a living nightmare in hell for at least 3 weeks, and then you also take concurrent capecitabine orally for the whole 2 weeks, which turns hell into like the 9th level of hell. I found level 10. I've dug down to level 10. I know there's level 11 as well. So that spanned from February. So that's February. It's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So it's 2 weeks chemotherapy and 2 weeks recovery. 2 weeks chemotherapy, 2 weeks recovery. So a month is each cycle. So it's February, March, April, May. 4 months of hellish torture with chemicals, then a 6-week break, then 5 weeks daily concurrent oral chemotherapy, and visiting the hospital every day for radiotherapy. So that's combined radiotherapy and chemotherapy. And it was during that period where I was drinking a lot, and I eventually went into rehab. I came out last August. 12 months ago, it was actually July I came out. See, I'm a month on now from all of that sort of like year of almost like a groundhog day where things seem to keep repeating themselves, patterns seem to keep repeating throughout the year. So yeah, the course of treatment then last year, I was on a break this time last year. I was mentally baked last year. I remember looking at a computer last year. I work at university for a living at the moment. This is what pays my wages sort of still at the moment, just about. I'll explain that in a bit as well. I assist with the university computer systems. We help the professional services people. We support their systems that support graduate intake. Everything professional, so anything to do with non-academic work. There's about 8 or 9 key systems, and we support both the hardware, software, and the systems that surround that. That's what I do for a living. did really. I used to work in an office in a university. I know if I can work, or if I'm working from home, I'm working in the same bedroom where I've pretty much slept and been all through all kinds of hell for the past 18 months, 2 years, probably longer than that. So yeah, this time last year I was on a break, and then October last year I had surgery. It was scheduled as, they say, between about 4 to 5.5 hours. Mine turned into like 7 hours because about 60% of the way through, the anaesthetic wasn't right, and one of the pain team noticed that I was reviving and I was digging in. I had holes in my elbows where I dug into the stainless steel table, and they had to revive me. I had a mad conversation with the anaesthetist in the middle of the operation. And I woke up and I was okay. They'd taken the around 100 millimetres of bowel out, so that's the little bit inside the arse, and then just joined them together, like that. So taking a bit out, join them back up together again, and then this little bit round here is called an anastomosis. It's a word that they use to describe a joint. As an engineer, I don't understand why they don't do fucking like proper butt joints that work properly, not this shitty end-to-end crap. So anyway, at some point I will violently and physically punish the surgeon for using bad engineering practices, but in the meantime I have to sort of like live with it inside of me. And the idea was that after about 3 months of healing, that would be reversed. So I have to have a quick look here. I shit through a bag on my stomach. And that was a temporary process. That was supposed to be removed January this year, January 20. January 20 came along, nobody had contacted me to talk about it. So I contacted them and they said, so we should have seen you in November to organise the operation in January, but sorry about that. So then they saw me in March, and I've had various problems. I had then got a virus in March. I was coughing, I had a fever, and I thought it was this stupid virus that people are getting all over the world. And I apologise if I'm very light-hearted about coronavirus 19. For me, suffering from cancer treatment, or recovering from cancer treatment. I'm not recovering from cancer, I'm recovering from cancer treatment. I would always make that distinction. All cancer ever did to me was like take away my soul, but that's a difference. We'll talk about cancer in a different way. At the moment, my obvious gripe is with cancer treatment, and at least the cancer treatment I suspect the majority of people receive as a protocol for colon cancer. So yeah, I saw the surgeon in March, and he says, well, yeah, we'll get you a water-soluble contrast enema and an X-ray, and that would show that the joint has integrity. As I say, the anastomosis is patent. And that was in March, and I was supposed to have that in April, and the operation would be done in June, and I'd be recovering by about sort of this time of year. However, it didn't happen. My NHS sort of stopped working. I got my water-soluble X-ray enema August the 4th, and she was brilliant. She said, oh, you must be so looking forward to having this reversed. Yes, it all looks fabulous. And then about 2 weeks later, I got a letter from the surgeon saying there is a continued leak from the anastomosis. It's been leaking all the time. That's why I've been in incredible pain. It's why I feel like I'm constantly trying to pass a baby out through my arsehole. Pause.